what's going on, guys? My name is Lane. Today I'm doing a realistic rebuild of the Pittsburgh Steelers, who are 1-2 at the moment. I am recording this after week 3. They're playing the Packers this weekend. Probably going to be 1-3. They're not looking the best. Probably the offensive line, but probably some mixture of the offensive line and Big Ben. I saw when he tried to drop back and go a little bit to the right, he fell over, and it's just what are you doing? I don't understand it whatsoever. There's a lot of good pieces on this team, though, so we do have a lot to work with, but we are going to have to find a quarterback. So let's get right in. But before we go any further, if you could hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and comment down below, I'd really appreciate it. So we did end the season at 6-11. That's not too far-fetched. I did bet the over 8.5, so that would let me down. I hope they could somehow find a way to 9 wins, but it's not looking great at the moment. I thought they would beat the Bengals. It just didn't happen. Ravens 12-5, Browns 11-6, and the Bengals 7-9-1. I feel like the Bengals might be better than that. I haven't looked at their schedule, but they're not looking that bad. I still don't know if they should have went Chase over so well, but it's kind of looking all right at the moment. Roethlisberger, 3,500 yards, 21-7. It's just not good. He's done. He's out. Harris, 923, 3 touchdowns. I would more so blame that on the offensive line than anything else. Receiving, Johnson, 783, 3 touchdowns. I think he's out for a few weeks, so I don't know if those stats would be right. He might have got hurt in week 3. Actually, I thought it was week 2, but it might have been 3. I'm not exactly sure. Juju, 733, 3 touchdowns. My guy, Ebron, 8 touchdowns, 2 for Claypool. And there's just so many weapons on the team, they shouldn't be getting all those yards, those least amount of yards. That's what I'm trying to say. Scobert, 122 for tackles, 110 for Bush. Sack totals, 12 for Hayward, 11 for Melvin Ingram, 8.5 for TJ Watt. Interceptions, 5 for Hayden, 3 for Bush, 1, 1, 1, and 1. We're 32nd in offensive yards. Imagine saying that about the Steelers 3 years ago, and then 20th in defensive yards. It just doesn't make sense at all. Mahomes MVP, fine. McCaffrey, Jackson, Brady, Barkley. Nobody too crazy up there. Henry's up there. Mixon's up there. Matt Rule, Coach of the Year at 15-2. That'd be a lot of fun to watch. By the way, I released a Panthers rebuild and Jaguars rebuild the other day. And then, right after I released the Panthers, when I was about to, I should say, they traded for C.J. Henderson. And then 2 days from that, today as I'm recording this, Jaguars rebuild. Recorded both of those before the trade. Awful luck. That's all I have to say about that. Let's go AFC. Other than maybe Watt, actually maybe Ingram's up there. Interesting at 3. Hayward's up there at 5. I thought TJ Watt would be up there. Harris is probably up here, yeah. They just always put running backs up there if they're first round picks. Defensive rookie, nothing. A Browns-Panthers Super Bowl. I'd love to watch that. Browns did beat the Panthers, unfortunately, 24-20. Baker Mayfield did not get the Super Bowl MVP. It's Myles Garrett, who had 5 sacks against the Bears. Now, here's where we hope and pray that Big Ben retired. He did not, but Andre Smith and Alu gone, and Calais Campbell. Now, we know Juju's on a 1-year deal. We don't have to bring back Johnson or Claypool quite yet. I'm really not in love with bringing back Juju. I just don't think it's going to happen. I was very surprised he came back for 1 year as is. Turner can go. Actually, Turner's probably a 1-year deal, a 3-year deal. Never mind. Terrell Edmonds. I'm not in love with this move, but a 4-year deal, very cheap, not that bad. Get Big Ben out. James Washington, he can go. Kind of surprised they haven't traded him, to be honest. But I think we're so set at receiver. You can usually find those in the draft anyways, in real life and in this game. But I do think of how Melvin Ingram performed. I think a 1-year deal for him would not be that bad. Not interested. Thanks. 19-3. So I made an offer to Armstead. I'm kind of putting that in a category that the offensive line is so bad and we're losing Turner that you make a drastic move the other way. So I'm going to try to bring him in on a 2-year deal. And then Melvin Ingram also made him a 2-year deal. I think that'll be all right. Even though we have Highsmith, Melvin Ingram did perform in this game and in real life. He's doing pretty well. So you kind of have to make him some sort of offer. Let's see if we can get these two. I feel like Armstead potentially could be one of those players that turns us down. But no, we're going to get lucky for one. So quarterback, Dalton Coleman, ranked 1, total 1. That's what we're going to try to get. But knowing this game is going to be ranked 3rd round or 3rd round talent, something like that. So we have the 8th overall pick. Dalton Coleman actually does seem pretty good, but the Vikings have the 1st overall pick. So they definitely would take a quarterback if they had that. So we are going to skip ahead 1. And they took a right end. Okay, so the Jets have the 2nd overall pick. They wouldn't take a quarterback, I don't think. I just can't see this. I don't think that'll happen. Let's trade. Of course, we're going to have to trade the 8th overall pick, but also our 3rd and 4th round pick this year. Now we have 5 quarterbacks to choose from, and I'm not exactly sure which way we're going to go. I guess we probably should just go Coleman. The only reason I don't really want to, if I were to go the other way, is because Philip Pryor I know is good, But at the same time, we probably shouldn't really go with that. But also, Cohen seems pretty good. And Evans. See, I don't like that Coleman isn't a scheme fit for once. Talent late first. I think I'd rather go the strong arm early. You know what? We're going to go with what they said. Dalton Coleman, add him to the team. 74 hidden development, works out. Ranked 32nd. I don't get that. But 90 throw power, 79 deep accuracy, 77 medium, 84 short. 80 awareness, though. Pretty good. I hate to do this because I know he's going to have hidden development, but we're going to go left guard, Chris Aldridge. We need offensive line help. We know that. 74. Boy, do I look dumb. Still a good player. So we are an 80 overall team. The offensive line already looking better, but of course that's going to happen when you bring in Aldridge, you bring in Armstead. Everything else on offense is somewhat the same. We have Fairmute starting at tight end over Ebron. Then on defense, we really have to work on corner, defensive tackle. But some of our players are getting up there in age, like Hayward, Tuitt, Ingram, of course. We have Highsmith as a backup. I just really think, like I've been saying, Ingram did so well in real life and in this game. You got to bring him back. But we are one game better. I like how with Draft Central, it still says our number 2 need is a quarterback. Like, come on. The Ravens 13-4, Browns 12-5, the Bengals 10-7. Let's see how our quarterback did. Newton's up there. Makes sense. 4,200 yards, I like that. But 22 touchdowns, 21 interceptions. That has to be a scheme of playbook thing. We'll see. Harris, 1,100 yards, 11 touchdowns. And Benny Snell with 8. Johnson, 1,000 with 6 on 98 catches. I love that. Wright, 850 with 5. Must be in the slot. Claypool, 775 with a touchdown. 4 for Fairmute, 716. I'll take that. Bush, 112 for tackles. Scobert, 110. I think that's exactly the same. Sack totals, 13 for Hayward, 9 for TJ Watt. Interceptions, 4 for Justin Lane, 2 for Fitzpatrick, 1 for Sutton, and 1 for Sidney Dyson. 20th in offensive yards. I guess we're better. Not really saying much. And 12th for defensive yards. So our team is moving in the right direction for whatever that is worth. Nick Chubb MVP, the McCaffrey, Kamara, Jackson, Elliott. Okay, Deshaun Watson's up there still on the Texans. Urban Meyer, Coach of the Year. AFC Offensive Player. Nothing. Defensive Player is Von Miller. Hayward at 3. I thought maybe for some reason Justin Lane would be up there. I'm not really sure why. Offensive Rookie. We're going to check on all those quarterbacks so I can remember all their names. Defensive Rookie. Dyson's up there. It really depends. I'm hoping that Coleman doesn't have star development. Deep down inside, I know he's going to have star development, but I just hope and I pray that the Madden gods. Okay, I apologize. X Factor, I'll take that any day of the week with 7 XP. And Aldridge has 3, that's good. What about Sidney Dyson? 4. 4 is not bad. I'm actually really happy that the number 1 ranked prospect has X Factor. That's a big leap for Madden. But Tom Brady, another Super Bowl, another MVP, beating the Bengals 42-20. If he wins another one, that's so crazy. He could have 11 Super Bowls. I know people could go the other way and said he could have, 5 or whatever it is. Fitzpatrick, we're going to bring back, of course. Tuitt, I'm not sure about. Johnson's going to come back. Boswell, Devin Bush. Cameron Sutton probably should come back. Justin Lane's way down there at star development. Oh, we have a ton of money. Granted, Fitzpatrick's going to want a ton. So I brought back everybody I said I was going to except Cameron Sutton, who turned down our 1-year deal. Not the end of the world. We have some good young corners that we can actually work with, but we'll see what we can do. So I made 2 big-time offers. One to Sean Murphy-Bunting, one to Jamel Dean. Bring him from Tampa Bay up to Pittsburgh. I did make an offer to Cleveland Farrell. Couldn't get up there. The Buccaneers are throwing a ton of money at him. I don't really understand it. Maybe I'm not supposed to. Montez Sweat was also up there. Didn't really want to do that. He'd probably get paid a ton of money. We got both the corners. So we have Dean, we have Murphy-Bunting, we have Justin Lane, and Sidney Dyson. So I guess we're set at corner. We need defensive tackle, offensive lineman, maybe a tight end. I completely forgot. We also need a defensive end. So I think I'm going to go Dante Pettis. There's some defensive tackles up there. There's Redmond, the strong safety, but we have not Edmonds. It is Edmonds. What am I talking about? So we're going to go Dante Pettis, left end. 75 hidden development. That works out. 72 power moves, 66 finesse, 76 speed, 82 accelerate. So I think the smart play here is to go defensive tackle. But LaMarcus Sellers ranks number 1 in bench press with 37 reps and great top 3 skills. So that's where I'm going to add him. We need a right tackle. You could argue maybe a center if you wanted to argue that. 74 normal. Okay, I guess I'm wrong. Maybe that defensive tackle won't have hidden development. It's kind of disappointing. So I did move Sellers from guard over to right tackle. That brings him down to a 73 overall, which is not a big deal. My biggest concern, though, is our quarterback in Coleman, who is up to an 81 overall. Is it the scheme? Is it the playbook holding him back? I just hope he doesn't have another year with 22 touchdowns, 21 interceptions. 4,400 yards, though, was really not that bad. Then on defense, Pettis is starting. We have Dean. We have Murphy Bunting. Our secondary is actually pretty good now. Really on defense, it's just safety, defensive tackle, and then maybe middle linebacker eventually, but I did draft Alexander in the draft. Wasn't really anything to talk about. And Highsmith should be a free agent, I guess, after this year. This is very unusual. We made the playoffs at 9-8, but look at our division right here. Browns 10-7, Bengals 10-7, Ravens 10-7. No clue what's going on. Mahomes had 51 touchdowns, pretty good. Kyle Trask with 37. You say so. 3,700 yards, 22 touchdowns, 20 interceptions, 8. Okay. That's not that bad. Harris, I guess that's a good season. That's all I meant. But I thought it was going to be a lot worse in my mind. 1,300 yards, 16 touchdowns. Awesome. Deontay Johnson, 905 with 6. Fairmouth, 3 touchdowns. 2 for Wright, 2 for Claypool, 5 for Harris. It has to be the scheme in the playbook. Bush, 124 tackles. Sack totals, 9 for Hayward. Is that Poe? Oh, that's not Poe. That was Pettis. I thought it said D. Poe. 8.5 sacks for Pettis. I don't even know if he's playing anymore. Interceptions, 4 for Fitzpatrick. Awesome. 3 for Edmonds, 2 for Murphy Bunting. Good. 30th in offensive yards. I mean, come on. What are we doing? Barkley, MVP, if you say so. Mahomes, McCaffrey, Elliott. I thought Harris might be up there. Kaepernick, of course. Coach of the Year, David Culley. We are not up there, unfortunately. Offensive player. Harris has to be up here. I don't get it. He had 16 touchdowns rushing and 5 passing. It's pretty good. Von Miller, Defensive Player of the Year. So we're going to have nobody other than a defensive player. Don't know who that is at 5. Spade at 7. Don't know who that is. Defensive rookie, Pettis. Okay. At least we could take something, and Alexander at 10. Now for the big question. What do we got for XP? 6 for Coleman's good. 3 for Sellers. 2 for Aldridge. Come on, X Factor. Star development for XP. That's all right. So here we go. We're playing the Texans, who are 12-5. They still have Deshaun Watson. That's not going to happen in real life. I was going to say, it's taken a while. 31-17. Let's be honest. We shouldn't have been in the playoffs in the first place, but let's take a look. Let's see how Coleman did. Yeah, 17 points. It's not going to be pretty. 156, 2 interceptions. Watson, 214 with 3. Harris, touchdown. McFarland, Watson. Mostert, interesting. Touchdown Cooks. Touchdown Moreau. And Brevin Jordan. The Kansas City Chiefs beat the Washington football team 31-17. Mahomes, another Super Bowl MVP. So Armstead's going to be a free agent. We're just going to keep on bringing him back. Claypool, of course, will bring him back. Ingram can go at this point. Dotson's coming back. Highsmith's coming back. And that should be it, but I think we still should have a bunch of money. I guess we're paying TJ Watt and Fitzpatrick. It's not, I was expecting like $90 million, but I guess this does make sense. Let's go 3 years. That gets us through the rest of the rebuild. Real. Do I want to hit Armstead with a $25 million franchise tag? I think I do. Darren Waller's a free agent. We have $29 million. I know Fletcher Cox is up there, and that might help out our team a little bit more. But I don't know if you could pass up a talent like Darren Waller, so we're not going to, is basically what I'm getting at. 4 years, I understand at 31 years old for a tight end, not the best idea. But we're the Pittsburgh Steelers. Let's not make the best ideas from time to time. $9 million, 8.07 signing bonus. Easy. He's coming to our team. So all we really need still, defensive tackle, I think that's it. He accepted it. So we have the 19th overall pick, and I keep saying we need a defensive tackle, we need a defensive tackle, we need a defensive tackle. So that's what we're going to do. Eldon Rice, defensive tackle. 79 overall is good, but normal development hurts a little bit. 93 strength, 81 block shed, 73 power moves, 63 finesse. In the second round, we're going to go center, Angel Moore. 75 hidden development. I kind of said his name wrong. Angel Moore. 90 strength, 83 run block, 83 pass block. So we are an 86 overall team heading into the year. Moore is starting at center, so I'm hoping after this year we can have 80s or above on the whole offensive line. Would be nice. Coleman's 87. On defense, Pettis is actually up to superstar, which is pretty nice. The defense is just good. So we make the playoffs at 9-8, but we're 10-7 and we missed. That's so disappointing. Bengals 14-3. That's nice to see. Ravens 12-5 and the Browns 8-9. You almost know it has to be quarterback. Oh, there was Evans too. That was one of the quarterbacks we could have taken year one. Coleman 44 yards. By the way, I didn't look at all the other quarterbacks because I didn't want to, be disappointed by looking at their stats and see them dominating. Coleman 27 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. Harris about 1,400 yards, 15 touchdowns. Johnson 1,000 with 5. Garland 932 with 6. Claypool 8 touchdowns, 800 yards. 6 for Darren Waller, 800 yards. On defense, Gobert 122, Bush 111, 102 for Dean. Sack totals 14 for TJ Watt is awesome, 9 for Hayward. I think he has to be on his way out eventually. 2 interceptions for Bush, 2 for Dean. Bunch of ones. Okay, so we are moving our way up for whatever that is worth. 16 in offensive yards, second in defensive yards. Okay, Mahomes MVP. It just nothing's ever up there. Not up there as well. Offensive player. I mean, who would be up there? James Robinson's up there. Defensive player, TJ Watt at 3. Offensive rookie. Defensive rookie. Biz Rice at 6. I didn't know it was possible to be so disappointed with the scheme and a playbook. I was pretty sure, but I wasn't this sure. We got 5 XP points for more, which is good. Sellers only got 2. 2 for Aldridge. I still say that's good. Coleman's up to a 91 overall. Pettis with 4, Rice with 3. The Rams beat the Jaguars 24-21. Jordan Fuller, Super Bowl MVP. That has to be with staff. So other than, what was it, Alu, and then a random offensive lineman, nobody's retired from our team so far in this rebuild, which is nice. But Najee Harris is going to come back. Still going to aim for Armstead. Probably Hayward as well. Fairmouth can go. Scobert can go. We'll bring back our punter. Kendrick Green could go. Not that bad, which I think should leave us with a good amount of money for free agency. Oh, yeah. So as you might have guessed, Armstead turned us down again. We're going to franchise tag him again. So we have $27 million in cap space. And since we have 1 year left, I do want to bring in one guy. And I think what I'm first going to do is make an offer to Keenan Allen just to see where that puts us. He wants a 2-year deal. That's kind of surprising. Let's just up it. 107, where does that put us? In first place. All right, that works out. Everybody in this rebuild has accepted our contract offer. I'm kind of blown away by that. So we have the 18th overall pick. This is more of a luxury pick than anything else. We could go middle linebacker with Joe Parker, but we have the guy we drafted last year. So I don't really want to do that. So I'm stuck between the 2 safeties. First of the 40-yard dash for Little. They're basically the same player, but this guy has an A- for hit power. Add him to the team. 77 hidden development. Perfect. Great player. So we almost had 80s or above on the whole offensive line, but we did draft Sellers, Aldridge, and more, so I do like seeing that. Coleman's up to a 91. Good with weapons for him. On defense, I almost want to start Little over Edmonds, but we won't do that. Alexander is a number 2 middle linebacker, which is fine. Even Dyson's up to a 73. So we did draft a lot of good players. Let's go to the playoffs, see if we make it. I just don't understand. We're an 88 overall team. We're 6-11. It just doesn't make any sense. This game just makes me so mad, and I get so annoyed playing it. It's just ridiculous. I cannot wait for the scouting update, which got pushed back, and I'm sure it'll get pushed back again. But Coleman, 4,100 yards, 34 and 15. And I understand getting pushed back isn't a bad thing. That means they're working on it. It should be good. And if it's not, I don't even know. But, don't say it's going to come out in a date and then push it back. Just be like, hey, it's going to come out by the end of the year. Just say that, and then you surprise people when it comes out. If they didn't say, they said sometime in September. And then you push it back. But if they're just like, hey, surprise, October, it's coming out right now, people will be so happy. Harris, 1,500 yards, 9 touchdowns. Allen, 1,000 with 8, 7 for Waller, 6 for Johnson, 5 for Claypool. Ben Peak, Jamel Dean, 119 for tackles, 110 for Bush. Sack totals, 9 for Watt, 8.5 for Highsmith. Interceptions, 2 for Fitzpatrick, 2 for Edmonds. 1 for Little, Murphy, Bunting, and Dyson. 26 in offensive yards doesn't make any sense. MVP is Chubb. Mac Jones on the Panthers. Coach of the Year, Lawrence Fecto? I don't know if that was right. Probably not. No Steelers. Defensive player. No Steelers. Offensive rookie. Who would have guessed it? Defensive rookie. We have a Little at 3. I believe this is a rematch, right? From 2 years ago. Interesting, but the football team won this time. 38-33. Jamin Davis, Super Bowl MVP. Take a look at our team. So I already upgraded our team. We are going to end this rebuild as an 89 overall team. And we drafted Sellers, Aldridge, Moore. Coleman, who's a 95. Spade, technically. We drafted a few receivers, but nothing to talk about. On defense, Little has superstar and is up to an 80. Give us a nice little auto align. So we drafted Little. We drafted Pettis, Rice. Alexander, who's a 77. Didn't really have to draft a corner. We did draft Dyson, to be fair, but I think overall we did a good job drafting, good job signing players. We still have a good amount of money each year in free agency. Have the rookie quarterback we would have had to pay after this year. I get that. It has to be playbook. It has to be scheme. I do think I am going to make a video where not even a video, beginning of each rebuild, set like I don't want to call it a challenge. I was talking about this in earlier rebuilds, like a list of rules we have to go by. And I think one of them is going to be you have to use this scheme and this playbook. But it's also like, it also doesn't make sense because you're playing as like the Ravens. You're not going to want to use the Chiefs playbook. I don't know. I have to figure it all out. But that is going to be it for this video. Hit the like button down below, the subscribe button down below, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks so much for watching. Goodbye.